Hello and welcome to FinPestro. Today we're doing FishNChips.exe, which is written by Simona, I don't know, Colaprisa? Sorry, it's probably wrong.
Pirate Man.
It's by a lady. It's from countries. It's called FishNChips.exe. Before we start, get your TARDIS ready because you're going to need it. Will you be able to spot all the references? Well, we probably will, won't we?
Yeah.
Well,
I won't. I'm going to miss loads of them.
In 2014, a British bloke named Jacob was standing on a bridge right above some train tracks. It was raining because we're in England, duh, and a gape went loose. He was holding it so he wouldn't fall down with it. While he is trying to get up, a train comes and runs over him. All it did was completely rip his waist off, but the bloke doesn't die. Instead, he was taken to the hospital and gains fast speed.
That's how the British healthcare system is.
Fast as a leper rat. When encountering him, you would hear a thump-thump sound. He makes that sound because he runs on his elbows. People are afraid of him because of his fast speed. So next time you go to England, don't trust any men if you can't see their legs.
Wow.
With this said, you can now imagine how sad and pitiful and miserable and shitty his life could be.
Wow, if only you knew. If only you knew.
He doesn't need robot legs for that.
It's like she knows me. Forced to stay in bed because of everyone being afraid of that thump-thump sound he makes when he runs, playing Super Mario World over and over again, beating it faster and faster until he lost himself in the darkness of Mario's black mustaches, where he contemplated his uselessness in that hairy void. These are his thoughts one night when he wasn't able to sleep, and turns into his sheets, contemplating the meaning of life and the possibility of making of his fast speed ability a chance to become a very famous and beloved psychopathic killer with an axe or a scythe. When he heard a voice whispering creepily, "Go to Kip." Jacob grunted and grabbed the jellied eel held by the man, kneeled on his bed and shoved it into his throat. "Shut the fuck up, Toby," he snorted, sitting while his friend was throttling, before swallowing the whole fish like a proper British dude.
As us Brits are world renowned for, swallowing fish is like a champ.
"Oi, mate!" Toby sat before Jacob's bed, looking at him, feeling all those girlish feelings of sympathy men don't talk about. "Why are you so sad? I'm going to cheer you up. What about some Super Brit Bros?"
Oh yeah, that cheers a lot of people up.
Cheers
a
up
lot, a lot of the people that know don't watch it.
That's like, cheers up a whole 12 people. Oh yeah!
Oh,
Matt
yeah.
busted into the room. He looked to be in his 20s.
But it really wasn't.
Walking with a hunchback with a loan of items upon it, especially food, because he's fat.
You can't prove that.
Oh,
He had
whoa.
thinning brownish hair and pale British skin, as well as an almost Buddha-like frame. He was quite big, really. It was the big grin on his face that got everyone. It was such a large smile, almost inhumanly big. Its edges seemed to stretch beyond his cheekbones and into his eyes. From his back, you could see some dolls appearing. A Tails doll, a Sonic doll with black eyes and 2 red dots instead of pupils, and a Mario doll with hyper-realistic blood flowing from its blue puppy eyes. Matt was used to bring those dolls with him all the time, and Jacob had to clean the house from the hyper-realistic Mario blood every time he came by, but he didn't care because at least he could say he had some friends and mock those nerds he talked with on the internet. Losers. The 3 Brits decided to search on Evil Bay for a new game to play when a guy named 7HOM4SS1MPL3 from America PM'd Jacob. Please take this game from me. I'll give it to you for free." Jacob thought about that and decides it was a deal. As soon as he presses the buy now button, he can hear a Kefka laugh as the bell rang, and he ran with his super speed, thump thump, at the postman named Bootman Bill, who smiles creepily while leaving the package to Jacob, a spider crawling on his hand. When Jacob raises his head to cheer the postie as a proper gentleman, he sees nothing but fog. Not because it's eerie, but because England, dudes. How could Bill have disappeared so quickly? Could it be the doing of ... Satan itself? But Jacob didn't care and goes back to his friends to play. By the way, British mail service is amazingly fast because Harry Potter.
British Mail Service.
Happy as children, the three open the package and see an old NES cartridge without a label. The title scribbled with an indelible black marker, FishNChips.exe. No time to notice the cartoonish blood flowing from it. Their Britishness couldn't wait for a moment more to play a game with such an epic name. Jacob inserted the cartridge into the NES and, new paragraph, the game started. The three were astonished by the hyper-realistic 18-bit graphic.
Whoa! Holy shit!
It was almost as the pixelated characters were alive, just there with them. It was bloody wicked. The scenario depicted a black sky and long flat green field with blood ponds all over. The main character was Luigi. For those who have been living under a lock for the past decades, or those who have a life, Luigi is a freaking psycho Italian with a black scary moustaches and a green hat with a big L in its centre. It is told that the L stands for loser, as he always fails against his brother Mario, who he hates so much he'd like to see him dead. So just the same feeling every brother in the world has towards his sibling. Luigi was standing there, watching at the screen, staring right into the trio's souls, if they actually have some left, with a sad glance on his face, as if he was trying to tell them to leave him the fuck alone and go piss off his big brother. But the three are smart gamers, so they knew what Luigi wanted was for them to play the game and let him die over and over because it was fun. So the three pressed start and let Luigi walk through the long empty corridor. There were no enemies, no obstacles, and no way to kill the protagonist with spikes or letting him fall into a dark pitch. This scenario went on for 15 minutes and 41 seconds. Until a cutscene takes over and the three stare at the screen for 10 whole seconds.
Wait a minute!
Toby shouts all of a sudden.
It's those cutscenes in this classic games.
He was right, because he is a smart gamer. The cutscene shows Red from Pokemon. Nintendo first introduced this franchise in 1996. Since then, it has become a worldwide phenomenon through media, toys, trading cards, and its beloved video game series. The regular gameplay allows the player to travel the fictitious world to capture and collect creatures called Pokemon to train and battle against other Pokemon in order to make them stronger and form a bond of friendship. The creators of Nintendo do everything in their power to make these games funny, appropriate for and entertaining for children with nothing to fear, but fear is unavoidable.
I'm not gonna sing this fucking song.
Where the fuck was I? Oh yes, in the cutscene there's Red from Pokemon with his back turned at Luigi. After 3 seconds, he raises his arm at the Mario Bro and challenges him to a battle. The players can't decide whether or not to accept the battle, as it just starts showing an hyper-realistic sprite of Red's ghost who sends out Link from his Pokeball. Jacob, Matt and Toby, being smart gamers, tried to send out their Pokemon, but it reveals to be Luigi itself. There are 4 options: attack, defense, charge, or fish and chips.
Fish and chips being the obvious option.
Being smart players again, they chose the most obvious thing, fish and chips. And hyper-realistic cutscene started showing Luigi shoving a whole plate of fish and chips into Link's throat, who started choking.
Because he's not British.
Seeing
You can
such,
take the vinegar.
Luigi took some beer, exactly the correspondent of 84 sips per 3 people and their fans, and poured it on Link's mouth, making him drown when a text appears on screen. The bobbies are coming, chavs. In that moment, the TV switches to the BBC channel where Valerie Hudson is reading the news. And we interrupt the vision of Darkland Ben Drown to inform you that today, March 19th, 2014, the Queen has died choking on a pint.
March 19th?
Toby jumped to his feet.
What the fuck is going on?
It's the tense swap. Jacob took his computer. There were so many time swaps that the TARDIS took us back in the past. We need to escape because we just killed the Queen.
How do we do that?
Matt panicked
So panicked.
as Jacob opens the Creepypasta wiki. We need to find a really poorly written creepypasta and read it out loud to charge the TARDIS and take us back to the future. While he was saying such, an eerie music started to play. It was the Lavender Town tune, the one from the original green version of Pokemon, coming from the NES, with a frightening Hypno swinging his pendulum. No, not that pendulum. ... Weirdos. Toby started to freak out.
Dong. It's Pokedong.
Toby started to kind of freak out.
It's going to drive us all mad.
He screams in terror, covering his ears.
Don't worry about it.
Matt pouted.
It's only effective. Children between 8 and 12 years old.
Are you trying to be William fucking Shatner? Oh, you mean like those?
Toby, why do you keep sounding like you can have a knees up?
Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up.
Come on, why is it? I'm trying to be hyper British here. Stop spoiling my dream.
Toby pointed out the window where children were gathering like zombies and started to kill each other with guns because every child owns one these days. Shite! This'll gather the police's attention. Jacob thumped next to Toby and looked outside the window while Matt was standing still before reaching his friends with a fierce smile on his face.
Leave it to me,
he said, and jumped out of the window. He picks up the children, one after another, by the throat. His mouth begins to open, still smiling of course, and it grows wider and wider until it's at least a foot wide. Jacob and Toby can hear his jaw snapping as it opens. Then all of a sudden, the child is halfway down Matt's throat, until slowly but surely, he slides down and disappears. Then Matt put his hands to his face. Slowly he peeled his hands away from it, and a repulsive stretching can be heard. His skin appears to be getting pulled off. Slowly the skin began modelling and contorting until it takes the shape of an adorable fluffy plushie of a game character. And this happened on and on to all the children, each of them turning to different character and joining the Tails, the Sonic and the Mario dolls who once were Matt's annoying neighbour's children.
You can't prove anything.
Jacob stayed there, admiring Matt's crafting ability, while Toby scrolled through the creepypasta wiki and found the right one. Squidward's suicide. He began reading it very quickly until...
We received a copy that was supposed to be Fear of a Krabby Patty, and we gathered around the screen to watch it. Now, given that if it isn't...
There was no need to continue any further, for the TARDIS brought back our three heroes to the present day. Now I'll show you the file that I managed to steal hacking Toby's computer.
What? You bastard!
Don't worry, I erased all the porn for family-friendly issues. If you want to watch it, just send an email to tobysporn@creepypastareader.uk.
It's really... Toby's choice of porn is really filthy.
The file
really...
is named thetruth.rtf.
This is the 666th day in the mental hospital. Nobody wants to believe me. I tried. I really did.
It was a black meal.
To stay, but my fellow companions in the cell seem to lose it every day more. They do nothing more than making out. I wonder how many my friends are. I lost contact with them, but fucking hell, this is so hard to read. This is doing my head in. I lost contact with both of them. After what I saw, Matt is still on the loose, eating children. Wonder how big his plushie collection is today. And how fat he has become since he can't have Twitter because of all that. Jacob, he's on in stations, making sure that the eerie thump sound he uses and an axe and a scythe, he has lost it really. Me, I just stay here and I would live a normal life after what I saw, after what I know. Nobody believes me, not even those two. I will never get a tense wrong in my life ever again. I will correct them if I've seen them. I will correct them if I see them. That's my curse. That's what drives me insane. The monster I've become. An English teacher. I was cursed by Jacob, that grammar freak. I know it. But no one will ever believe me. Now I need to go. Slenderman and Jeff the Killer, my mates, have decided that they want to go to a spot and make out again. I'll go sing with Luna again, I guess. It will get worse.
Okay, so that was FishNChips.exe. What do you think?
Best fish and chip based story ever.
It's like the only fish and chip story. It worked. Funny.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. It's funny. There's some good jokes in there. I liked the idea that changing tenses would like drain the power of the TARDIS and things like that. Yeah, it was funny. I liked it.
I like I like the words which I can't speak, you know.
Words, Sammy, words.
I like all the references. I like a 5-year-old when reviewing. I like the food.
I want to know how he figured out that I eat children.
I probably just looked at you and thought, well, he's not getting that just from bacon sandwiches, is he?
What if you wrap children in bacon?
Sounds delicious.
It's just at the end of this episode. Sounds delicious.